Hello everyone, this is Martin. Welcome back to another video weekly forecast and update on what I'm looking at. We're going to see what the currency pairs are going to be doing this week, or what I think they're going to be doing, and we're going to try to give you some information as to what I think is going to happen and where you can possibly place some trades. So before we do that, let's take a look right over here, and you can see that this week, I believe the markets are mixed. Okay, and by that I mean um, the USD right now is showing some bearish momentum, and that's due to a number of reasons. Number one, some of the uh, economic information and news that's coming out for the U.S. Is not that great at all. Their economy is okay. Everything's going well, but some of the news that's coming out, the economic news that I'm referring to, is not that favorable. And however, I don't think this is a major problem. It's not going to impact the currency that much. Um, Also, there's continuing news with Donald Trump, and the world is watching to see his efforts with regards to his tax reforms and some of the other policies he's coming out with. And finally, there's round two of the French presidential election. There's going to be a runoff election on May the 7th, I believe it is. And this is going to be interesting because, well, right now it looks like there's going to be a favorable outcome. Like when I say favorable, I mean favoring the markets. I don't think there's going to be a major surprise or anything like that. That could favor the markets and certainly help the euro, which is doing really well right now, as well as the British pound, which is doing really, really good as well. So British pound is strong, euro is holding its own, and we're going to take a look at this specific pair in just a second. And the other pairs are kind of up and down, or we're in a wait and see situation. Again, I will explain all that when we get to the individual currency pairs. So before we do that, let's bounce right to the disclaimer. Okay, and with this risk disclaimer, all I'm saying is that, when I produce these videos, they are done for educational purposes. You can see that right here. I do not guarantee that anything's going to happen. So the videos are produced with the educational content that is meant to teach you how to make your own independent decisions when it comes to trading. As always, there's a high level of risk whenever it comes to any type of trading, whether it's forex or stocks or anything for that matter. And so always view the videos that I'm producing at your own risk. The information, often I will provide levels of entry where you can get into, or some of the things that I'm looking at. And again, you have to decide if this works best for you. And finally, always have some risk management in place. In other words, use stop losses and decide where your trade, once you enter a trade, where does it go really bad? In other words, where does the trade turn against you to negate your trading entry? And this is what you always have to think about. Okay, so with that said, we're going to hop right into the currencies. Okay, this is the Euro USD daily currency, and you can see right here that this is an important currency to watch. Okay, so you want to keep an eye on this one ahead of the French elections on May the 7th. And again, you can see really quickly this is the trading action as of the previous Friday. This vertical line here tells you what happened since the end of not last Friday, but the prior week on Friday. This is Sunday, Monday trading here with this black bearish candle. And then we get the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the 5 candles for last week, basically up, down, up. We had a bit of a bullish surge on Friday, and you can see clearly that this pair is going sideways. I'm going to actually switch this pair to the 4 hour. This gives you a better idea as to what's going on, okay? and you can see here, up, down, down, up. You know, we are in a wedge here. So my bias right now is mixed on this one. Again, you take a look below here at my cursor, my mouse here. MACD is flat. Okay. Now the only thing is that's really important to substantiate this sideways trading is the weekly candle, and let me go to that. Okay, and you can see right here on the weekly, um, we have a doji. So let me just switch to another chart for a second. This is my LEOD chart. You can see here really clearly we had a gap up, obviously, from the previous week to last week. And the entire week was just sideways. So just there's a clear indication that you have to wait for better evidence. Let me go back to the daily. And in this case, we want to take a buy trade. This is what I'm looking at anyways. If I see price breaking out above this level here, above the 109.60, that would be a good place to enter, 109.60, or below this area right here, and I'm looking for 108.16 to the bottom side. So if it breaks down, right here. Okay, so 108.16, 108.16, then most likely it's going to head down much lower to this area right here. Okay, so that's what I see there. Now we get to the British Pound USD. Take a quick look. Last week I had a really good run. Here is the close of the previous Friday, right here with this vertical line. Sunday, Monday trading, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 up days in a row. That is pretty amazing. Quickly switch to the LEOD for a lesson in trend lines, a really short thing here. Oh, sorry, let me just switch for a second. Okay, you can see here, here's the LEOD, and this is last week's trading. Um, so here, this is again the daily chart. Take a look here as of beginning of this year, January. Price went up, down, kind of in a volatile move here, up, down, and take a look at this trend line. I use the trend lines as support and resistance. Okay, so from here, this point on in March, middle of March, price jumped up again, and then this time made a higher low to this previous low. And once you join two low points like here and here, you can draw a trend line. So when price is above a certain trend line, you can also, it also gauges the strength or the momentum of the move. Okay, the move is gaining strength here and it's not coming down. And again, now price starts to take off here. Draw another trend line joining this low and this low. Here you can see with this low, it's a higher low than the previous low. This low is higher than this previous low, and all of a sudden the momentum is really skyrocketing for the British pound. I drew in another trend line. I'm sorry, joining here and here. Drew in this trend line. Okay, so you can see the slope of the trend lines are increasing. This is shallow slope, a steeper slope, very steep slope, and finally with this last move, the pullback right here and the bounce up over here, we can now join this low with this low and take a look. The slope of the trend line, I mean, the momentum is just screaming higher. Okay, and at some point it is going to reverse and come down. I want to go back to the regular chart. The I would expect to take a buy trade here. Okay, you can look at buying in dips if price comes down a bit. This is again the daily chart, but you can buy here certainly if it goes above. Let's take a look. 129 70, 129 68 70. You know, price should be going higher, and then of course take a look right here. We've got the next right here, the next support, I'm sorry, resistance area, and that is, so if price goes up to there, we're looking at 130.50, 131 area. Okay, so it looks like price is actually going to um, price is going to go higher. Okay, and at this point, up here by resistance, it's most likely going to bounce down, okay? However, it may come back down first to here or to here, to join with the 8 EMA and then go higher. Okay, so again, depends on your risk level and your personality, your trading personality style, whether you're an aggressive or a conservative trader. You would look at different ways of getting in. Okay, so that's done. We're done with the British Pound USD. Now let's move to the Australian USD. Here you can see price broke below support. Is this a false breakout to the downside? Not really too sure. Price now on Friday, we had a nice bullish engulfing candle here. So price may go up a wee bit higher to come to to meet the 8 EMA, which is coming down. That's this line right there, and then bounce lower again. So again, here you have to kind of wait. We are kind of in a sideways market. We have to wait for further evidence. And if we think price is going to go down lower, then I personally would be looking at selling below 0.70 74.50, okay? 0.7450. If it comes down here, I would look at selling, okay? But right now it looks like it could go a little bit higher. And also remember this week, I believe the Royal Bank of Australia, there's possibly some interest rate news. They may not change anything, but that so price may go up a bit, maybe sideways in advance of the RBA interest rate news that's coming out this week, and then it may just plummet right through to the downside. Take a look at the MACD. We are heading lower. We're in a downtrending market. Okay. Now let's move to gold, and I always kind of show gold. You can see it's come down. It's kind of just going sideways. So again, wait for further evidence. Gold has to clear above this the 8 EMA. It has to come up here for us to consider an up move, and then if it does that, then that will favor the Australian dollar and create some strength in that against the US currency. Okay, so if gold rises, that's good for the Australian dollar. Now we get to New Zealand USD. Now last week, take a look at this. One, two, three, like 1, 2, 3, huge bearish candles. Certainly prices, we're in a trending lower market here. The markets are trending lower. Take a look at the MACD. There is momentum to the downside. And it just kind of is stuck here now at support. You can see that. So again, price may just come back up just a wee bit, but if price comes down a little bit further, I would look at selling below 0.6840, below 0.6840. So in the meantime, like I said, um, price could come up just a wee bit and then maybe head back down again. Okay, so that's something that you gotta either wait for further evidence or or just take a sell trade once price goes a little bit lower. Okay, so let's clear that off for a second. There we go. And obviously, if price comes up here, we could take a buy trade, but it has to come up quite a ways. Now, let's take a look at the weekly candle, and this is important. I'm going to switch to the other chart. Often it's a lot clearer to look, clearer to see. But you can see with this huge bearish engulfing candle. This is the weekly chart I've switched to, and usually when you see a bearish candle like that, there is that usually indicates further downward movement. However, with this huge downward movement last week, I expect a bit of a like I said, a retracement first or a pullback before price coming back down again. Okay, so that's what I see there. Now we get to the US CAD, and this is the opposite. Here we can see prices trending higher. We're making higher highs. Here's a previous high. Here's a newer high. We're making higher lows over previous lows again. So the lows are becoming higher. The highs are becoming higher. This is a really good bullish trending pattern here. The only thing is, I want to switch really quickly to the H4 chart, like the 4-hour chart, and I want to show you something. Okay, there it is. And you can see um, after we've made a pretty good up move up to about here, all of a sudden price is stalling a bit. So take a look at the small candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is a kind of almost like a bearish pin bar, but take a look, the very small movement. So from here to here, it really didn't go anywhere. Is it? And we have to ask ourselves: is this stalling and ready to come down in a retracement or a pullback back to this support area, where it could go up higher again, or will it from here just break out and go higher again? It's a wait and see situation. And also take a look how many dojis we see. Here's one right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dojis there. Again, a lot of indecision. There's a nice battle going on between the buyers and sellers, and no one has established control just yet. So, again, you have to wait and see. Take a look at the MACD line, completely sideways, which indicates, again, we're in a sideways market right here, right now, even though we're bullish, but we're kind of going sideways, and we have to wait to see what happens. And what may it may be tied into oil, as you know, the Canadian dollars tied into oil. So again, take a look. Again, the sideways movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, basically the last previous 4 candles. Price did come down quite a bit to a lower trend line. I've drawn that in for you. Now, this is a longer term trend line, and often the long term trend lines, if you can find them on your chart and draw them, they act as really good levels of support or resistance, in this case, support. And I'll show you what I mean by long term. I'm going to zoom out, okay? Let's zoom out. There you go. You see, I started here way back in November of 2016, drew the low point to this low point here, and when this line was already drawn in, price actually came right here and touched that and is bounced up a little bit higher. Okay, so you can see the importance of trend lines. Right now we're sideways, so it's a wait and see situation. If oil continues now to bounce from here and go higher, that's certainly going to help the Canadian dollar, especially Canadian dollar against the US dollar. Now we get to US Swiss franc. Take a look, everyone here. Same thing. Prices came down, bounced off the longer term support with the trend line. We are right there at the resistance area, because price did break below, but it came up back to resistance. It's just going sideways again, so I'd stay away from this pair unless price comes out a little higher. Then we may consider taking a buy trade above 0.9962, which is right here, 0.9962, and then it should be good to go up to at least this moving average right here. But again, it's a wait and see situation. Okay, so finally, our last pair is the US Japanese yen. Now, a few weeks ago, I drew in a rectangle right here to show you that the price was just basically going sideways, down, up. Finally broke out of this rectangle, and now it's come right back in there, which kind of makes me think that price again is just going to go. Well, it's gone up to the top edge of this rectangle. It may just come back down again in the pullback, and again may just go sideways for a while. So here, if we think price is going to go higher, we would want to wait and take a buy trade above the 112.30 right here, 112.30, and of course, price would have to come down quite below this area right here for us to even consider taking a sell trade. So, from here though, and I did extend the box up to this point. I mean, we can extend it again, so I just did that. So it could be going just up and down for a while, and deciding on, or waiting for the U.S. currency to do something, whether it gets stronger or weaker from here on in. Okay, so this is what I'm taking a look at, and there's nothing more than that. So these are the major currency pairs for this week. Happy trading, everyone. If you have any questions, please contact me. You can email me anytime, and I'll get in touch with you fairly quickly. If you want more information on my courses or training, I certainly will help you on that. So take care, everyone, and happy trading. Goodbye for now.